This is an expansion on the Johnny Depp defamation trial. First of all, I want to say that when making predictions using astrology, you can really only see the potential of something. It's not going to show you exactly how that person is going to respond. Everyone has free will, so everyone is going to act according to what they think is best in that moment, which astrology doesn't always show us. That being said, there's some important dates in this trial that I'm really excited to highlight and expand on. So the trial started on April 11th and was set to span 6 weeks. Mostly of what I covered in part 1 of this video was that that's the day that his Saturn return became exact in his house of marriage and relationships, making a tense and challenging aspect to his house of reputation and how he's seen in the public eye. There are some really important transits coming up for him too. During the whole span of this trial, it's literally mind-blowing to me. So April 30th, we have the new moon and eclipse in Taurus in his 10th house of career, reputation, how he's seen in the public eye. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of changes around that for him. Long lasting. New moons are typically new beginnings, so there's really going to be a new beginning of how he's seen in the public space related to this whole disaster fiasco with his marriage and relationships. This weekend we have Mercury entering Gemini too, which we can see represented by all the people that are coming out and speaking for him and against her crazy ass. April 30th as well, we have Mars moving closer to his Chiron in his 8th house of vulnerability, shared resources, and assets. There's a lot of emotions coming up for him around like healing this whole thing. That's really intense and pretty aggressive too. I mean, this is Mars in Pisces, like it's emotionally aggressive. We also have this weekend Chiron on his Jupiter, which is really calling for an expansion through some sort of like legal action, right? The 9th house represents the law, government, as well as spirituality. So this is really teaching him a lot about his sense of self, his relationships, his spirituality, and the legal system, I'm sure. This is looking really good for him. Like, I feel like this is all just really supporting him a lot through this whole thing. Then towards the end of the trial, he'll have Venus on his Jupiter in the 9th house. I feel like he might go on some like international traveling tour after this. I don't know. That combined with Mercury in his 11th house, he's really going to start to see how the people around him and his connections, his relationships support him in his expansion and highest growth. Then on literally the last day that the trial is supposed to take place on, we have the sun on his Venus and Mercury really close to the North Node, which represents destiny, and whatever the sun touches, it illuminates. So overall, again, I feel like this is really positive for Johnny Depp, and everything that's happening is really supporting him and becoming almost like a new version of himself through all of this hardship. He also had Pluto in his 6th house of hidden enemies, work, on his South Node, and in the same sign that his moon is in. He's really in a period of huge release, of huge transformation and rebirth. So I'm really excited